Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another edition of Rave Diaries and Tower Block Tales with yours truly, Uncle Doug's in the building. Before we start today's one, as always, just thank you to everybody that's been watching all the episodes. The subscribers are going up, the likes and the comments seem to be getting more frequent. Everybody's getting a little bit more involved in it now, so we love that. So yeah, thank you to all of you lot firstly. So, what we got on today's episode, we're going all the way back. I mean, there's a lot of this is in 1991 at the moment, I know. And like I say, as I go through more boxes of stuff, when I get back from Canada and Glastonbury, I'm going to get some more stuff out and we'll start spreading the years around a little bit more. But the stuff I've got around me at the moment is mostly early 90s stuff, so it's not a bad thing, is it? So what are we doing today then? So today we're going back to Friday the 2nd of August 1991 to this here. Weekend World and ESP Promotions present Heaven on Earth, Brayfield on the Green, Brayfield Speedway Stadium. Yeah, 2nd of August 1991. So that's the front and back of my ticket. As you can see, little map on the back. Ticket number 3368. So this weekend is up there with the best weekends of my life, honestly. So it started on the Friday afternoon. I'd had the day off work. I was a plumber, YTS plumber, £37.50 a week. Barking and Dagenham Council, Libby. Anyway, I'd had the day off work and just me and my cousin went to this, Daniel. There was only two of us. He drove, I was 16, he was 19. He drove the old trusty blue Escort, the Y-Reg CFL, up to this place here, which is called Brayfield Raceway, International Raceway. So Brayfield is a tiny little village just outside of Northampton. And Brayfield Stadium is a speedway stadium, so big grass thing in the middle, speedway track around the outside, and then a bit more grass and stuff around the outside of that, and then some and then some stands and stuff like that. So your average track, I'm explaining to you what a track looks like you don't know. But anyway, so 16 years old back then, to me, going to somewhere like this was so far away. I mean, now, because I do so much travelling, when I'm coming home from up north, when I get to Northampton, I feel like I'm nearly home. But back then, Northampton, mate, you might as well have driven me to the moon. That's what it felt like. So, like two very excited children at Christmas, we drove up in the afternoon, not at the night. Like the rave started at 9. Me and my cousin drove up there in the afternoon, and I remember on the back seat of his car, he didn't have a car stereo, but he had a 3D super woofer. I think, were they Hitachi? I think they were. Were they Hitachi? I think they were. Anyway, big stereo like that, 600 of them massive fat batteries, 3D super woofer. That's on his back seat, playing what we used to call the two-tick tape. My cousin actually used to call it the two-tick tape. I won't take the credit because I followed in his footsteps through this era a lot. I didn't have a clue. My cousin Daniel was like my mentor. So all of the tapes that I got came from him. All of the info and the knowledge I got came through him in them very early days. So yeah, we had a couple of tapes. The ones that I was talking about the other day on the Music Power video, on a previous video, the earlier ones of them would have been the tapes we were playing on that 3D super woofer on the journey up to Northampton. And I remember as well, this is how mad my memory is, yeah? My cousin had, I think they were Casio. They were the little, remember the portable tellies that had the aerial? They were terrible. You had to move the aerial about and then leave it and not move it. It had a little stand on the back of it, and then it had if I remember correctly, it was actually like a twisting dial. I don't even think it was a digital dial. Anyway, he had that, and I remember we watched Neighbours in his car. It was on at 5:35 weekdays. Everyone's going, yeah, you remember, innit? Weekday times back then. So we get to this little village called Brayfield on the Green. And I remember we went to a shop and we got some stock for the car, some sweets and some drinks and all that. So now you're probably talking 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock-ish in the afternoon, because we watched Neighbours in the car, I remember that. So ages before the raves started, but we're such excited ravers back then that we're there. We want to be the first ones through the door, and we had nothing better to do. So we're there, right? Brayfield on the Green. Now, where we'd parked up, it was like a cul-de-sac, you know what I mean, kind of thing. That's the best way to describe it. So we've parked there, and the kids that have come home from school, they're out playing just on the grass and whatever. Me and my cousin are sitting in the car watching watching Neighbours on the little telly, having a little smoke, and then all of a sudden we get a knock on the car window. It's the kids. Opened up the car window. Oh yeah, what's up, lads? They're like, are you here for the party tonight, the big rave? And we're like, yeah, yeah. They're like, oh yeah, it's the biggest thing that's happened in the village since we had the, what was it, not the fete, like the summer fair, something like that. This is the biggest thing that's happened around here, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, oh yeah, that's amazing. And they're asking us all these questions about the party and whatnot. And then they've gone and carried on playing football, whatever they're doing. And we've done the window back up, chilled. Anyway, we go to the rave. We're there early, obviously. We're sitting outside the flipping place at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But we're the first ones in the queue. And so I think it might be the only time I've ever gone to a rave that big. And I was the first, or me and my cousin were the first 2 people that went through the door. So anyway, you're standing outside, the queue's building up behind us. They open these turnstiles, through we go. And I remember walking in and it was just this vast Speedway Stadium. With a stage to our left, I remember it had a massive inflatable octopus draped over the top of it. And then imagine if it was a football pitch, on the halfway line was like the sound and stuff like that. And then all around it would have been what we were going to build dancing on. God knows how many thousands of people this place held. It was huge. So, other bits I remember that night, I remember when you went, so where we come in, we walked straight across the grass, the stage is to our left. And on the other side, there was a bit that went round and had like a market round now. I remember my cousin buying a hat, weirdly. It was like a felt, it had like different panels on it. They were the fashion for a little while back then. He bought one of them. We bought some amyl nitrate and had a little go on that while we was walking around. And we had a wicked night. I remember it was a wicked night. And we left there happy. And actually we went back to that venue for Amnesia House, the wedding, which we'll definitely talk about as well on another episode. But yeah, so now we've come out to the car. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We've been there from 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock. Had a right good time. We get out to the car. My cousin looks at me. I can't drive. I look at him. No, you can't drive. So what we decided was we was just going to sit there for a little while, chill for a bit, calm down, and then when the time was right, we would drive off. So we're just sitting in the car now. We've got a bit of music on, a bit of chilled music on the back seat. Both reclined our chairs. We're probably just laying there buzzing out. All of a sudden, you know what's coming, don't you? There's a knock on the window. So probably our chairs like, look, it's the kids, isn't it? They're out now. They've got, no lie, how sweet is this? They had a tray with a pot of tea, 2 teacups, a thing with like blocks of sugar on and some biscuits for us two. They've brought out tea and biscuits for us because we've been to them. Obviously we couldn't eat the biscuits. I don't drink tea, but my cousin loved a cup of tea, so he polished off the teas and we probably eat the biscuits. But they brought us out tea and biscuits to the car and they was asking us what was it like. I mean, God knows what we were saying. We were flying. A pair of us we couldn't even drive, we couldn't even see. But they was asking us all questions about the rave, and then they come back over a bit later and took the tray back in and the teas, and that was it. And we never see them again. So those kids now would be like 30 odd years older, so they're going to be mid to late 30s by now. I wonder if they were, listen, they might be rave, they could be watching this, right? If you was living in Brayfield on the Green in 1991 and you brought tea out to a couple of weirdos in a blue Escort, hit us up, yeah? But yeah, but last bit of this, which is nothing to do with the rave, I remember we drove home and we used to go to a cafe on Beaconsfield Hill. Like, my cousin worked on the council as well, both of us did. And there was a cafe on the hill that we used to go to. So we thought we'd go to the cafe because we couldn't go home. So we went to the cafe and we pulled up on Beaconsfield Hill and the cafe was closed. So rather than try and go anywhere, we thought we'd just sit on the hill for a little while. And I remember sitting in a chair and both of us still buzzing, thinking that the car was rolling down the hill. No lie, we must have pulled the handbrake up so much. In the end, it was almost on the back seat. We pulled it all the way through the thing. And then we close our eyes and be like, I think the car's moving. Look at the shop next to you. And mate, great days, weren't they? They were great times. And the reason I say it was one of the best weekends of my life, because on the Saturday night, which was the 3rd of August, we went to Rain Dance at Jenkins Lane. It was the first one. They did a tour called the Summer Gathering Tour. Was it summer? No, they did a tour called Indian Summer. And the 3rd of August, I do believe, was the first leg of the Indian Summer Tour, and it was a great night as well. We'll talk about rain dance, we'll talk about them nights on another episode, but yeah, this was part 1 of 2 of what was one of the best weekends of my life. So big up the weekend world, guys. Out to the Heaven on Earth ESP promotions crew, to everybody that raved at the Heaven on Earth rave, £22.50 plus booking fee, absolute bargain, mate. And shout out to everybody that raved in that venue when we could at Brayfield Speedway Stadium, because it was an amazing place, a special place in a special time. When we talk about the wedding, I saw the best PA of my life at that. You'll have to keep on watching the episodes to find out who that was, though. Yeah, but for now, thank you for watching. As always, thank you for subscribing and all your lovely comments and everything else. Even when I'm seeing you out and about, the comments that you're giving me face to face, it's a beautiful thing, man. Everybody seems to be enjoying it. So tell all your friends this is what we're doing. We've got Run Come Follow Uncle Doug's on the other playlist, which is me out and about, just getting up to mischief on a weekly. I put them up, and these in between them, I just drop them here and there like little golden nuggets for you, all right? So, as always, guys, thank you. Be lucky. Peace and love to you all. I'll see you on the next episode of Rave Diaries and Tower Block Tales. Yeah, we have it.